In this movie, we'll begin to explore the flexible box model by learning to control box element orientation. Now, the first step in using the display these children horizontally rather than vertically. Now, you might be wondering, why did we need the container div tag? Why don't we just use the wrapper div tag as the parent and set its display property to box? Well, the big problem with that is in browser implementation. It's not anywhere in the spec, and I can't find it in Mozilla's developers website. However, when you set a container's display property to box in Mozilla, the element is removed from normal document flow, very similar to a float. That's not the way the implementation is done in WebKit, but in order to allow my wrapper div tag to center all the content on the page and to control it, I need to have that container inside of it so that I can still keep it within normal document flow. And it's just little differences in implementations like that with experimental standards that you really have to look out for. And that's one of the reasons why it's so important to test. Both of them, because I want you to see the differences in implementations. Usually differences in implementations of standards are pretty subtle. You don't really notice them that much unless specific things come up. In this particular standard, the flexible box model, there are large differences in implementation and you can physically see them. So I want to point those out to you when they arise. Now, you got to admit, the ability to create a horizontal layout like this without the use of floats is pretty cool. It means later on I don't have to worry about clearing anything or worrying about margins and padding and how they affect floats and how floats affect them. It's fantastic. Now, I think it is important to remember, however, the differences between the implementations in Mozilla and WebKit could cause issues with certain layouts. So it's a good idea to keep an eye on how these implementations evolve in the future and how they might affect any of the layouts that you're experimenting with as you start to learn about the flexible box model.